people, listen to me very carefully. I told you yesterday it's about solutions here, not problems. Look, migration, China came and took our stuff, we borrow money from them, and all those talks are meaningless. Listen to me. They are meaningless unless you don't have solutions. If you don't have solutions, all this talk is meaningless. And migration is natural. Look, everything China is doing to Africa, they are doing it according to the law. There is nothing illegal. Let me make one thing clear to you all. Everything these white people with this European global elites are sucking out of Africa. Look, the Nigerian crude oil is being sucked out of Nigeria. It's not well managed. Even some of the areas in Nigeria, it is destroying the villages, it is destroying their water. These are all legal according to the Nigerian government. Let me make one thing clear. According to the Nigerian government, according to the governors of those states, these things that happen, they signed the law that says it's okay. The Chinese didn't magically appear in Africa. They came legally to an incompetent race that believes that when you are just talking, you are powerful. Race that believe that when you have Julius Malema saying something, you are powerful. Have you seen any Chinese activists talking? Have you seen any Chinese man that is giving a speech like Barack Obama? But they are all coming because talk is cheap. You can give good speeches from teleprompters and television channels and news stations and say something nice. But if you can't build toothpick factory, you cannot build how do you call it? Anything for yourself. All you know how to do is design a bag, bleaching creams, fake Brazilian hair, and make sure you have a big ass and you can wear good clothes and know how to talk. That's all the African man has done. You look at African leaders. I'm telling you, look at all the African leaders you have, from Ghana president to the Kenya president. All of them, most of them, Ivorian president, they all have Western education degrees. Cambridge, Oxford, Harvard, this big Georgetown university degrees. The Chinese probably don't have these degrees African leaders have. But ask yourself, how come these Chinese are functioning right? And a black man with all these degrees, he can buy a Range Rover, he can buy the latest car, he wants to drive Lamborghini, he wants to do all those things. But a Chinese man that hasn't got any degree, some of them are even rice farmers from China. 3 years ago, a couple of my friends were showing me something in Dublin, in Ireland, that if you give a Chinese man $50,000, if you give a Chinese man that is a rice farmer $50,000 and you give him a ticket to go to Ghana, he can become $20 million rich in less than 3 years. He's intelligent actually than the Ghanaian PhD holder. I said, that's a lie. They said, Ben, we did this report. Look at it. I said, it's a lie. They said, look at it. This is it. And they actually did it. Look, they were able to prove that a Chinese man that doesn't know how to read and write, he doesn't even know Beijing, he doesn't know Hong Kong, he doesn't know anywhere in those big cities in China, even Wuhan. He's a villager. All he knows is how to operate an excavator. If you give him $50,000 and you put him in a plane and get him a visa and you put him on the land of Africa, he can function better than a PhD holder from Africa. He can hire African military to protect him while he's mining your gold from the 50,000. He can rent African excavators and machines in Africa. He will even have to pay them. He'll take it in advance. And he will mine African gold up to 20 million and give money to African military men to escort him with his gold, and he will ship the gold back to China. And even give some of African pastors, African church members money. He will buy drums for the local church. He will buy a cab, a van, $5,000 van for the local church. They will all praise him. They will say thank you anytime he's passing. And he will take about 20 million worth of African wealth and bring it to China. He's uneducated. He's never gone to school. He doesn't read Shakespeare. He cannot read beautiful speeches on teleprompter like Julius Malema. He's not as intelligent as Ghanaian president. He's not as intelligent as he hasn't gone to any military school like President Buhari. He hasn't. He's not as intelligent as Kenyatta. He's not as educated as a Ivorian president. He hasn't got any degree. He's a rice farmer from a Chinese village. He doesn't know Beijing. He doesn't know Hong Kong. If you put $50,000 in his hand, he can bring 20 million worth of gold from Africa. With the help of the African government, he will buy that PhD holder, a military soldier, to give him protection on that jungle. He will give him escort. He will call him, say, he will buy African pastor with $5,000 church drums and band. They will praise him as he's the best person ever. That is how dumb and stupid African black man is, with all his degrees he has. Ask yourself, all the wealth Nigerian governors have, they bank them in Swiss banks. Millions of wealth, they bank them in Swiss bank. They buy houses in foreign lands. Some of the houses they are buying abroad, and helicopters and planes they are buying abroad. Each of these things can build factories within the continent of the country of Nigeria, within their constituencies, that all their citizens can get job. What is inside the black man's head that when he looks at all these things, he spends the money on vanity instead of doing these things that he's supposed to do, that a Chinese man is doing? Brothers, this is not about hating Chinese. So let me make one thing clear. This is about examining yourself as a black man. Are you a monkey or are you a human being? Because so far, monkeys don't behave like the way black leaders are behaving. No monkey would look at the weight of his own clans. When you give monkey a banana that he knows that the banana is good for him, that banana he will share it among his people. He will not sell it to maggots and then beg the maggots for food. He will shove it in his jaws and make sure he's full first. So what kind of brain does African leaders have that they will bank the wealth of Africa? Even when he's a pastor, he's banging them abroad and he's selling false prophecy. He's banging them. He's buying Range Rovers and helicopters instead of building factories. Because $500,000 can build a factory. $500,000 can build a factory in every village in Africa. What is inside a black woman's heart and her womb? What is in a black woman's womb that you give birth to idiots, fools, monkeys that believes that the money that they can make is worth buying Range Rover instead of building a factory? African mothers, ask yourself, what kind of womb have you got that when your children come to this world, they prefer private jets instead of factories? Because the Chinese are building factories. Even when he's not educated, he's building factories. Even when he can't read and write, he's making factories and selling you this product. Mothers of Africa, ask yourself, what kind of children are you born in? Stop insulting Chinese. These Chinese that you are looking at, they are not as educated as you are, Africans. They don't read Shakespeare. They don't know pi r square and all those mathematics you studied in Western education. How come they are smarter than you? How come they are intelligent than you? That's the question a black man should. Jesus Christ, he said, examine, remove the stick in your eyes before you tell me what is in my eyes. We are not here to hate Chinese. We are here to find out what the fuck is wrong with the black man, because he's behaving worse than a monkey. We put the black man in the White House. We put a black man in the White House for 8 years. He promoted same-sex marriage, LGBT agenda. Now, Americans think there are more than 100 genders. Before he was a president, the Americans believed there were only 2 genders. Iran benefited from his presidency more than African Americans. What the fuck is wrong with the black race? This is where we have to examine. This is where we have to ask questions. It's not Chinese man that's the problem. China, not only Africa, he's squandering the wealth of America. If it wasn't for Trump, he would have taken it by now. So what the fuck is wrong with the black man is what we should start asking ourselves. How come we prefer women's ass and bleaching creams and Brazilian hair and clothes and designer bags instead of building factories within our own communities? How come we reason like that? That's what the fuck is wrong with the black race, not the Chinese man. Nonsense. That's yes and wakwa.